It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
With Brent Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. We'll see the Houston Rockets facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, we all know how hard Russell Westbrook plays.
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. Two teams tonight that love to get out and run. Brent, talk about some of the keys to being effective in the transition game.
Well, one part about transition, Kevin, is the first couple steps that anybody takes to get out on the break. I mean, there is a skill to running hard in transition and then secondarily getting wide in the lane. So many coaches are yelling at their players about creating space by getting to the sidelines as quickly as possible. Those two things can make you pretty dynamic in the open floor.
Here's the starting group for Houston. Ariza and Anderson holding down the forward spots. The two pillars of this team, Chris Paul and Harden, are the 1 and the 2. And it's Capella in at the 5 down low. Now, here is Harden. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. And it's Harden slamming it down.
And I just love how aggressive Harden is inside. When he's deep like that, he is ready to finish with authority.
Now here's Westbrook. Oberson from outside off the mark. Releases. And Harden with the basket on the assist by Paul. Harden's got his second basket.
When your point guard has those kind of excellent instincts, ripping the D to pieces comes along with it.
And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Harden the pass to Ariza. Harden left side. Back to Ariza. Fires from deep. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
And doing their best to maximize possessions. Just staying focused with this lead.
Well, it isn't much, but they've been able to capture some of the momentum of this game and increase their advantage.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
Harden kicks to Ariza. Back to Harden. Clock at 4. Back to Ariza. And he can't extend the lead to double digits. Oklahoma City's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. That shot wide open. Westbrook's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And boy, did they need that one. Their first make in the 5 field goal attempts they've had.
Here's Paul. Again, the Rockets score.
I think Chris Paul, as he's gotten later into his career, shooting more and more from the three-point line, but the mid-range jumper is still extra special.
Now, here is George. And here's Westbrook from the arc. Paul with the defensive effort. Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. Ariza against George. Anderson the screen. Back to Ariza. Lets it go from deep. Russell Westbrook with the rebound.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
Now, here is Harden. It's hauled in by Adams.
You can't afford to let guys get comfortable there. The defense somehow avoided that shot from going in.
Inside, stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's George. Banked in off the glass.
And where's the help? Obviously a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
Now here's Harden to the inside. Kicks it out to Paul. Anderson with the screen for Paul. Clock at 6. And the shot is long. Thunder trailing by 4. Outside Westbrook. That 3 off the mark.
And right now, I think just his demeanor is hurting the team. His shooting's been off, and he knows it.
Screen by Capella. To the middle. Up off the screen. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. It's George on the wing. Ariza covering. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Harden's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
And watching James Harden, the amount of shots he is able to create for himself and his teammates, he just does so much from his position that is unrivaled. One of the greatest offensive threats, not only today, but really of the last decade.
Now here's Ariza. Shoots over Adams. Misses with the tough leaning jump shot.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
In the corner, it's Westbrook. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5. And for Harden, he's been in the conversation, Greg, for MVP for several years. The way he's able to just carry an offense with his creativity garners attention.
And Kevin, I think he might have won it last year if it wasn't for the amazing season put in by Russell Westbrook. Don't count Harden out, though. He's such a unique talent on offense. Maybe this will be his year to bring home that MVP award.
Roberson gets the bucket.
Well, no hesitation from Robertson that time. Got his shot off quickly as soon as he got the ball.
Paul kicks to Capella. Paul, a screen on Adams. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist from Capella. Harden's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Thunder trailing by 4. Screen by Adams. There's the screen. Pass to Roberson. Kicks to Westbrook. Jacks up a 3. And the Thunder another 3.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Paul dishes to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
Just love how Chris Paul sees the court, picking apart the defense with incredible passing.
Westbrook passes to George. Back to Westbrook. Shot from the top of the key. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. Westbrook's got 10 points in the game.
And this quarter has been all about him. You feel every shot he's going to take is going in.
Harden kicks to Capella. A shot off that time. And the Thunder going the other way now.
And they're facing the team that dismissed them from the postseason last year. So certainly a little payback in mind.
Adams' shot is off.
Credit the defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made him attempt a difficult layup.
And he lays in the alley-oop.
My goodness. Save that one. I want to see that again.
Me too. Just absolutely beautiful. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
Cantor checked in for Oklahoma City. Alex Abrinas comes in for Roberson. And then for Houston, Nene, he's checked in for Clint Capella. And Bahamute comes in for Trevor Ariza. And Gordon subbed in for James Harden. Now here's Gordon. Paul. It's hauled in by George. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And there's the feed to Adams. Here's Abrinas. The pass to Westbrook. Back to Abrinas. He nails it, and we're tied up. Abrinas has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Gordon with it. Nene outside. And And the wide open shot from Paul. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
Well, Chris Paul tinkering now with the defense, reacting well off the pick, and then he capitalizes as well.
Abrines kicks to Adams. Outside Westbrook. Lets the three fly. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now here's Gordon. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Nene with it. Now defended by Adams. And the call will be against Alex Abrines. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
And the Thunder with some changes. Jeremy Grant comes in for Steven Adams. And Chris Dunn's subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And the Rockets making a change here as well. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Anderson. Here's Paul. 5 points in the game. Here's Tucker. No good on the triple.
And that's a rare sight. Usually shooters make the defense pay when they're that lackadaisical.
And Brett, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin, I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the off-season, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
Now here's Gordon. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. There's the pick. Paul for 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Abrines. In the corner, George with it. Trains it from beyond the arc. George has got 5 now.
And there's never been any question about George's three-point range. He just goes through stretches where he knocks down the 3 at a ridiculous rate. A little tit-for-tat action going on the back-to-back trades.
Yeah, a little gamesmanship from range could force both defenses to maybe extend out a little further.
Now here's George. He has 5. Baamute with the steal. A minute 42 left in the first quarter of the game.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
A terrific anticipation using the hands. How are you not protecting the basketball in that situation?
Yep, that one goes in there.
And the mid-range jumper really right in George's comfort zone. When he isn't blowing by guys and finishing at the rim, he's knocking that one down with consistency.
Now here's Nene. Fires for 3, and another 3 for Houston.
Some guys just take pride in how they set screens. It might seem like a small part of the game, but as you saw there, it can have a huge impact in getting a shooter an open look at the basket.
Here's Kristen. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And George kicks to Abrines. Passes to Kristen. Shot clock at 6. Offensive rebound. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Well, the D attempted to foul Kanter before he got that shot off, but too late. Results in the and 1.
And Enes Kanter, Brent, a guy not really known for his defense.
Well, the league loves two-way players. Enes Kanter might be a one-way player, Kevin, but that's okay. That offense is so good and so dynamic, and they like to pair him up alongside Steven Adams if they can to provide the Stash Brother lineup for this team.
On the free throw, no good.
Such a big guy, Kanter, but also incredibly lean. At the NBA Combine, for instance, he tested out at 6% body fat, an extraordinarily low number for a man of his size.
Now here's Paul. He has 5. Here's Nene. And he banks in the layup. Nene's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Look at the intensity of Nene, one of the strongest guys in the game. Phenomenal at scoring the ball inside.
Here's Kristen. Pass to Abrinas. Over Gordon. No good on that last second attempt there. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Rockets ahead. They lead by 3. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
Living like college. Yeah. T.Y. what up? Ali, what up?
And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism. Also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Rockets, guys.
I mean, they're winning the turnover battle, and oftentimes that can swing things your way.
Well, they're taking care of the ball. They're attacking on defense, and this has them out to a big lead after 1.
This is how the floor looks for the Rockets starting the second. Chris Paul and Gordon are the backcourt pair. Luke Mbah-a-Moute out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Nene in at the center. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Houston Rockets, one of the most explosive scoring teams in the league. Defense has been a shortcoming in the past. Coach Mike D'Antoni said, we have some good individual defenders. If the rest of them just try, well, that's the plan. Kevin?
Offense is what the Rockets are all about, D.A. You know that. Coach D'Antoni definitely focuses on this part of the game more than defense. And here's Gordon after Paul George getting his 3 to go.
Perfectly played defensively there. He made that a very difficult look.
And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. Great opportunity for a three-point play. For Oklahoma City, they have shot just 1 free throw, missing that one earlier. Opening day upon us, Brent. Some teams already looked as if they are championship contenders already. Others clearly in a rebuild mode. What's the mindset of players entering the season on a rebuilding team?
Well, if you're a veteran guy, you're asking your agent, can I get a trade? They would love to get on one of those contending teams. But a rebuilding team is about making progress each month. Really, quite honestly, that's what you want to see, Kevin, is progression month to month. Each of the games, maybe chunk out a block, 20 games here, 20 games there, and you want to see just improvement overall in what your squad is doing. Coaching staff high-fiving themselves there, watching that team move the ball around, doing whatever is best for the team.
Christian, the pass to Grant. Screen by Grant. Shoot from the right block. Bank shot, no good.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
Now here's Paul. He's got 8. Over in the corner, Mbah-a-Moute. Nene, the screen. Here's Tucker, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Tucker's got his first bucket of the night. Thunder trailing by 6. And Kristen kicks to Grant. Dishes it to Cantor. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Houston's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. Paul outside. Over in the corner. Mbamute buries it from three-point range. Mbaamute's got 9.
First 3 of the quarter and 3rd overall, guys. The defense might want to step up just a little bit on him from this point on.
And Kristen kicks to Cantor. Pass to Kristen from downtown. He doesn't hit that one. And it's Houston the other way. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Feeds it to Tucker. Paul right side. 6 to shoot. Goes up on the wing. They grab their own miss. Tries again, and he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
The Rockets shooting their first free throw of the night here. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Cantor. Patterson comes in for Grant. Roberson, he's checked in for George. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Chris Dunn. The Rockets also changing it up. Anderson, he's checked in for Mbamute. Riza comes in for P.J. Tucker. And James Harden subbed in for Paul.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Free throw good, Nene. And last year, one of the bigger surprises in the NBA, the Houston Rockets.
And remember, absent Dwight Howard, a lot of people thought maybe they're going to take a step back. And in the year where several other super teams in the league kind of took a step forward, the Rockets were able to hold their own. The team has a system that works, and they have bought into it. And top to bottom, they've been making smart decisions.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder.
And I like this timeout. You're getting terrible rim protection right now.
Well, you got to ask your team to give you a little bit more effort because there's just not a lot of fire on the defensive end.
Look at my watch and the way that I put you on God. I never complained. Gold along my wrist. I made the moves, we made it still. Pull up in the list, why they always checking. Come again, I've been back with Griffin. I'm for my red slums. Then you get numb. You ain't messing with me, no. You ain't messing with me, nothing. School ain't for me, like a. I ain't about money, no discussion there. I got what you need.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Nene. And we'll examine here how the distribution has been between three-pointers and two-pointers tonight for the Thunder. Here's Roberson. Patterson, the screen. And here's Westbrook from the arc. Ariza with the rebound. And he uses the glass on the layup. Ariza's got his second basket of the night.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
Now here's Adams looking for his first basket still in this one. Count it, and the Houston lead's been cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Abrines.
Beautiful execution from him, building off a great first quarter, looking unstoppable here.
Capella with the bucket. Capella's got 8 points.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
Here's Westbrook, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
And the first one drops. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
No good on the second free throw.
Well, he's an NBA scoring champion. Westbrook sure has improved his entire offensive repertoire since his days in Westwood.
Houston leading by 10. Outside Gordon. He feeds it to Harden. He dishes it to Ariza. Capella sets a screen for Ariza. Screen by Capella. Ariza goes in. Stolen by Westbrook. Here's Abrines. Offensive rebound. Roberson. Gordon with the defensive effort.
You can't miss those kind of looks. The defense seems to be a little nonplussed so far in this one, but he flat out missed it.
And it's Gordon finishing it off.
Ooh, that's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And to me, this is why they're winning, guys. Unlikely players stepping up huge against a defense that's really nowhere to be found.
And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Now, here's Ariza. Defense is right there, and the basket by Harden.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Love their strategy, and they've been able to execute on it, building a huge lead.
Here's Roberson. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Abrines kicks to Westbrook. To the inside. Now the pass to Abrines. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Abrines has got 12 points in the game.
Pretty much poor defensive effort there. You have to get a hand in his face when he's spotting up from distance.
Ariza outside. Screen by Capella. Harden has a wide open look. And another three for Houston.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And how about the career progression of Trevor Ariza? You know, he came into this league somewhat as an energy player who, you know, obviously could attack the rim. Now he's one of those guys who's primarily a 3-and-D component.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A three-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Well, if they're going to win this game, he's going to require just a little bit of help. Many of the shots he's taking are finding the hoop.
The Thunder shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
One shot, mind the lanes.
Brett, you were known for your leaping ability. You won a dunk contest. We all remember it very vividly. During the pre-draft process, did they measure your max vertical?
They did, Kevin. At the Chicago pre-draft camp, you run through a series of tests there. Your conditioning, how your CO2 gets kicked out. They put this mask on you and check your stamina. There's a bunch of doctors in there poking and prodding. I won't go into detail about that.
Thank you.
But they did measure the max vertical during that Chicago pre-draft, and it was about 39-inch vertical leap, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all. And here's Westbrook after Trevor Ariza just hit the three. Westbrook dishes to Adams. Good work defensively by Capella.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Ariza goes in. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Steven Adams picks one up. Rockets have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And a bit of a bittersweet question for you, Brent. We know you spent so many years with the Sonics who eventually were uprooted and became this Thunder team. How badly would you like to see Seattle get a basketball team again?
I think it's the NBA's mission to get back to Seattle, and under Adam Silver, he's asked questions about the return to the Emerald City, and I think it's going to happen, Kevin. If it does, I'd love to be a part of what the organization does up there. I do miss the PNW. That's the Pacific Northwest.
Now here's Westbrook. 17 points in the game. Here's Roberson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
I think what I'd like to see from him in this quarter is getting going from the perimeter. Hit a 3 in the first, nothing in the second.
Ariza kicks to Anderson. Ariza passes to Harden. Lob pass to Capella. And the dunk by Capella.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets, an exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment.
Well, Robertson, a nice job that time distributing the basketball, and a dependable player in these offensive schemes if he does that.
And it's Ariza in the corner. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Ariza's got 9 points in the quarter.
They've given up a lot of three-pointers here today.
Adams with the screen on Harden. And the Thunder another 3.
The awareness of Russell Westbrook to locate the open man and deliver a strike, something he's developing.
Here's the screen. Gordon against Westbrook. The 3 from Harden. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Robertson can't hit.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
It's Ariza on the wing. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Rockets lead by 20.
And Kevin, they've dialed up their activity this quarter. We're seeing them convert a lot of those second chance opportunities.
And Roberson kicks to Adams. The dish to Westbrook. Here's Roberson. Offline with his 3.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Ariza keeps it alive, and it's put back up and in by Capella. Capella's got 14 points for the game.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Westbrook with a wide open look. Drains the three-pointer.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
Now Gordon. Harden outside. Anderson with the screen for Harden. And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Harden. Harden's got 6 assists now in the game. Thunder trailing by 21. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
12 straight points off of 3-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Gordon with it. Westbrook picks him up. It's stolen by Adams. Stolen by Harden. And it's the Rockets on the break. Harden's got the ball. Anderson's shot is off. 26 seconds left here in the second. Wing shot on the way. And it's Westbrook missing.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
He had a nice open look right there. And that's now 7 points for Eric Gordon.
Ooh, that three-pointer right there hurts. The former Indiana Hoosier really can bury those threes in bunches.
Oh,
a little punch, counter punch action. Neither side flinching here.
Yeah, both sides trying to keep up with one another, but doing it from distance.
James Harden getting it done for Houston. And it was from three-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Billy, balanced scoring for your team. How pleased are you with the way they're...
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. James Harden led the way in the first half. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 steal. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy Arena there in the background as the cars stream down I-40. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gets... Rockets leading by 18. Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for Oklahoma City right now, at small forward and power forward, it's George and Patterson. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's Adams in at the center, locking down the middle. Great way to see the alley-oop. That replay courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And here's Harden. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And Robertson kicks to Westbrook. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook. And a look here at the shot chart for the Rockets.
Well, just look at the cluster in the middle of the paint. That right there tells you all you need to know about how they have built the lead they have. They are playing with more intensity on the offensive side of the ball, and it's the difference in the game right now. You have to love how they've approached this matchup.
Rockets leading by 20. Screen by Capella. Harden kicks to Anderson. Ariza against George. Now the feed to Capella. Shoots over Adams. It's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. George dishes to Westbrook. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
They have yet to hit a shot, a real slow start here in the second half.
Here's Paul, fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Well, Chris Paul, a player who has always had an incredible shooting percentage as a guard.
Well, before last season, Chris Paul actually went through the LASIK procedure to improve his court vision. So you mean to tell me that all the way up until that point, Chris Paul was struggling with his eyesight? That makes it even more incredible.
Shooting one.
And as he gets later and later in his career, it is clear that Chris Paul is one of the great point guards Brent ever to play.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Chris Paul could be the second greatest point guard ever to play in the NBA. Certainly has never dominated the way that Magic Johnson has, and most of that because of the height and not looking to score as much. But he's right there on that Stockton level, that Isaiah Thomas level. Appreciate the way he goes about his business. Well, passing is something he does very well, especially when it comes to leading his man to the right spot.
Harden the pass to Paul. Shot from 16. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got assist number 8 now on the night. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. Patterson can't get it to go. Rockets leading by 23. Fires from 18. Here's Anderson, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. Steven Adams picks one up.
And Ryan Anderson loves to get himself to the free throw line. He is a dead-eye shooter from pretty much everywhere on the floor.
Well, Ryan Anderson, a terrific deep threat in stretch 4.
And I remember last season when he told reporters that a heckler yelled out at him, "Hey, Ryan, you look like a math teacher." And you know, we've heard a lot of these off-the-wall heckles before, but the irony is it's oftentimes the strange ones that tend to stick with you more, and that's an example of it right there.
The first free throw is good. And both free throws good for Anderson. Hey, Brent, Jerry West once said that his ultimate lineup would feature 5 6'9" players. I like that. In a league that features so much switching, and you were just talking about this, would that be the perfect recipe for a versatile lockdown defender?
Well, I'd take 4 6'9" players in Jerry West. How about that? That might be pretty
Always
good.
include West with anybody, right? West with anybody.
No doubt about it. At 6'9", I think what Jerry's alluding to there, Kevin, is the fact that each of those guys would have a tremendous amount of length to cover up the floor. So foot quickness, lateral movement, and then that length to bother anybody, not only challenging shots, but also getting to the rim and making sure that there's some protection around the interior part of your defense.
And they double up Paul. Here's Capella, and the dunk by Capella.
He's just so efficient, getting his points within the flow of the offense. Great recipe for success.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. Well, one thing the Thunder have always done well is control the glass. Good rebounding team.
Well, the Thunder are great candidates to end up near the top for both offensive and defensive rebounds, and it certainly helps when Russell Westbrook is tearing down over 10 boards a game. It's a complete effort with this ball club, and they have guys who are willing to stick their nose in there.
Enes Kanter's checked in for Patterson. Houston also making some changes. Nene comes in for Clint Capella, and Mbah a Moute comes in for Trevor Ariza. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 3 of 8 so far in the third quarter, looking to lock in that rhythm. Westbrook kicks to George. Mbah a Moute with the steal. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Puts it up from 12, and that one comes up a bit short. Oklahoma City shooting well. They're at 45%. George dishes to Westbrook. Here's Roberson. No good with the triple.
Oof, rough shooting night tonight, but you can't fault him for the effort.
Paul with the ball. 13 points in the game. To the middle, here's Nene. Kicks it out to Harden. Nene, the screen. Off the pick, and the jam by Harden.
Yeah, just constantly attacking the paint. Harden does not settle.
Westbrook kicks to George. Screen by Adams. Here's Roberson. No good on the three.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Paul outside. Nene, the screen. Here is Mbamute, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Mbamute has got 12 in the game. Mbamute has gone 4-7 from the field here. And George kicks to Westbrook to end the run. That's tipped. Harden outside. Back to Mbamute. His three-pointers off the mark. The Thunder shooting an ugly 27% since halftime. In the corner, George with it. It's good from long range. 13 points in the game.
And his versatility on offense is so spectacular. He always finds ways to help put points up on the board.
And they double up Paul. And here's Anderson from the arc. Hits it from three-point range. Anderson's got 5 points now this quarter.
Well, he's a confident player, but his teammates are confident that he's going to make shots like that one there.
Now, here's Westbrook. He's got 26, and the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
That way. Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
No, that's a good call. Just keep arguing with the officials because they change that call all the time. Not.
Catching up on the changes for Oklahoma City. Grant comes in for Steven Adams, and Chris Dunn's subbed in for Roberson. P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for the Rockets. Screen by Mbamute. Paul with the three. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Man, the triples keep falling, guys. That's 3 in a row.
Here's Westbrook. Grant with a screen on Paul. Here's Westbrook. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
Now a chance to see the numbers for George. Great showing for him last season. He averaged about 23 points a game last year, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. And impressive numbers, no doubt. It's the kind of run we've come to expect from him.
Synergy, all elements right now working together, and the game is coming so easy right now.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And there's the call on Nene. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Kristen. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
Trust me, defense wants to keep Grant out of the paint, and he wants to get in there. That's why.
And the shot's good from Nene.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
Oklahoma City shooting at a decent 44% clip here. And Kristen kicks to Grant. Cantor sets the pick for Westbrook. Again, Oklahoma City.
Well, getting dangerous for the defense now. Russell Westbrook playing right now at ludicrous speed. All these points flowing.
Paul with the screen for Harden. Harden draws the double. Stolen by Cantor. By himself. And finished off by Westbrook.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
They've done very, very well in transition. The problems have come in other areas, which is why they're trailing.
For Oklahoma City, they've gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. Houston's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Paul, left side, takes the 3, scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And when you watch this Rockets team, you can see just how explosive they are on the offensive end. Almost everyone on the floor can hurt you from deep, and they all know their role and execute it to a T.
Gordon's checked in for James Harden. Kicks to Grant. Here's Kristen. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Count that one. And last season, the Rockets' offense was incredible. Then they go and add Chris Paul.
They can run a team off the floor if they get hot. Two great playmakers in Paul and Harden. And making a move for Paul made a lot of teams fear what the Rockets can do now on offense.
Shots good from Mbah a Moute.
Well, he's building off that strong first half he had. I'm not sure the defense will be able to figure him out in the second.
And Kristen kicks to Westbrook. Lets it go from deep. Here's Cantor. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
One of the game's very best offensive rebounders, Cantor also has the wherewithal to quickly convert for the score. Cantor, a guy for the early part of his career in Utah, trying to find his niche or role into the league. And it wasn't until he moved to Oklahoma City where they decided to make him an impact player coming off the bench, and it's proven out to be a pretty good role for the young Turk.
Alex Abrinas has checked in for Russell Westbrook. And for Cantor coming off the bench, he certainly is a perfect fit in that role. Comes off and, Brent gives his team a go-to player for that second unit.
Well, it's nice on nights, Kevin, when your offense is struggling, that you can rely on Cantor to come in and just put up points and put them up in a hurry. So efficient down there on the block and gives you a ton of scoring in those limited minutes.
And Kristen kicks to George. The tray, and that one's good. Kristen's got 5 points in the quarter.
Oh, a little punch, counter punch action. Neither side flinching here.
Yeah, both sides trying to keep up with one another, but doing it from distance.
Nene, the screen, down low. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And it's 13 points for Nene.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
Here's the screen. George passes to Grant. From outside, off the mark. The Rockets shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. Paul dishes to Gordon. Nene, the screen. Paul for three. The rebound by Grant.
Just enough coverage to bother that three-point attempt.
And Kristen kicks to George. Puts it up. And again, it's Oklahoma City. Houston in total control. 1:36 left in the third quarter of the game. Nene, the pass to Gordon. Nene, the screen. Off the screen. And it's Gordon missing. The Thunder shooting 48% from the field as a team in this third quarter. Taken away by Nene. And it's the Rockets on the break. Here's Tucker. Here's Gordon. And the officials call goaltending, so they'll award the basket.
That's a very close call. I'm sure he thinks it's a clean block, but looks like it was on the way down.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Patterson's checked in. And a switch here also for Houston. Capella's checked in. Here's Cantor. And Capella sends it back. Shoots it. Paul can't get it to go. Here's Kristen. 5 points in the game. Passes it to Abrinas. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. There's 37 seconds left to play in the third. Tucker dishes to Paul. He kicks it to Mbah a Moute. Houston moving it around. 5 to shoot. A 3-ball. Here's Capella. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. This is his first free throw of the game.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
First free throw is good.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. 19 seconds left in the third. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Patterson setting the pick for Grant. Cantor kicks to Grant. Buries the long-range jumper. Grant's got his second basket of the night.
No doubt that Jeremy Grant wants to become a better shooter, showing signs of progress in his catch-and-shoot game.
And so it's Houston, having no problems at all. Up 29 points heading into the next quarter. And with as many three-pointers as they've drained, it's easy to see why they're on the cusp of a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Oklahoma City shooting a respectable 47% from the field in this one. Fourth quarter on the court for the Rockets. Gordon and Ariza are on the wings. Then it's P.J. Tucker, and it's Quarterman in at the point guard.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
The Rockets shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. As to Ariza. And Brent, every year on average, it seems like players get a little taller, they can jump a little higher, they run a little faster. What are your thoughts about raising the rim above 10 feet where it stands now?
That's a great question, Kevin. I don't think that that's happening anytime soon, but
you I can see you shaking your head, and you kind of laughed at it.
Yeah, I just can't see it
happening. The game is hard enough as it is right now, right? Is that what you're saying?
It is. I like your idea about making the court a little bit bigger, but 10 feet seems to be a pretty good number for where that tin sits.
About right, huh? Just over a minute played here in the fourth. A nice shot by Tucker.
And when you're down this many points, hard to justify leaving a good shooter that wide open.
Truer words never spoken. Breakdown on the perimeter D, and the communication severely lacking there.
Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Brent, coming down the stretch of a tight game, some coaches like to substitute for offense and defense. Others don't. What would be your preference if you were coaching?
I think the idea has to totally do with matchups, Kevin. You're looking out on the floor. If all of a sudden the guy you want with the ball has a mismatch or an advantage, I'm going to stay away from any sort of timeout to give a coach 60 seconds to talk about something that he could probably shut down. I might not be able to be as creative as what's just happened in the flow of the game, and I'll trust my player to make the right play for me at that time.
First one falls for him.
This OKC team is one of the best in the league when it comes to getting themselves to the free throw line, and a lot of that comes with the sheer force of Russell Westbrook, who draws a ton of fouls. But there's a few other crafty players who can get to work on the inside and find their way to the free throw line.
Eustace comes in for Oklahoma City. Felton comes in for Alex Abrinas. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. The Thunder, a strong team at getting points off free throws, Brent. It helps having Kanter, who's also good at drawing fouls.
Well, we see how much a team can have success just stealing easy points from the free throw line. So most teams that are near the top in terms of finding free throw attempts per game find their way into postseason play. The Thunder have set that trend. Westbrook's aggressiveness, Kanter on the inside, and Adams playing aggressive around the rim.
Ariza goes in. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Brent, it is an era of shorter player contracts, sometimes with opt-outs after 1 or 2 years. Does that breed too much of a win-now mentality among teams?
Oh, so shorter contracts, Kevin, but taller players?
Yeah, exactly. You've got it.
Okay, all right. You know, it's interesting the way that teams want to set themselves up. Obviously, if you have a bona fide star, you want to do what you can to lock him up and have him as part of your organization and the concrete and the foundation for what you do moving forward. But a lot of guys certainly on the move and on loan for seasons where they want to take a shot at the true contenders.
They set the pick. Christian, the pass to Collison. Now Felton. Back to Collison. 4 on the shot clock. Here's Grant. And he can't stop the run as he misses. Rockets have gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. It's Ariza on the wing. Pass to Quarterman. On the wing, Eric Gordon. With the floater, the rebound by Grant.
And that's just good offense. Surprised he blew that one, and the defense is too.
Collison kicks to Felton. The pass to Eustace. Shoots over Tucker. The Thunder with another miss. And here are the Rockets. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. Passes to Quarterman. Tries a 3. Another miss by Houston. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. Felton against Gordon. Fires from 14. Misses off the left iron. Houston in total control. They've played a great 4th quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points. Tucker can't get it to go.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Here's Christian. That's good, and so Felton has the assist there. Christian's got 11 points here in just the 2nd half. Here's Quarterman. Dishes it to Gordon. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
And Eric Gordon has long been noted as a terrific shooter, but I felt like he was able to display just how great he can be last season. Had that green light whenever he was on the floor and really near the top of the league in terms of threes attempted and made.
Shooting 1.
And for Gordon, he's been a great catch-and-shoot player in the past, Greg. The difference last season was the improvement in his pull-up threes.
And there is a world of difference between shooting a 3 off the pass as opposed to off the dribble. The pull-up threes are what make players like Steph Curry so hard to guard. And when Gordon added that to his game, I think it helped his overall ability to score the basketball.
Grant, that's good.
Yeah, you got to stay on Grant. When the pick comes, he's thinking about shooting. Once he gets himself into that open space.
Gordon a screen. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And one thing that is quite clear with the Rockets in terms of their approach is their shot selection. They prefer easy layups or threes. Very rarely
will you see them play that in-between game.
Two.
And he makes the first. And that shot selection, a systematic approach by the whole Houston organization. Greg, as a team, they actually took less mid-range jump shots than DeMar DeRozan did individually last season.
Yeah, and it wasn't even close. I mean, the approach Houston has made successful the last few seasons, they are 100% committed to not taking mid-range shots if they can help it.
With the premium players and outside shooting, Brent, plus defensive rules that lessen the need to defend in isolation, will we see guys playing for more years than ever before? Less wear and tear because there's less of it inside in games.
No, it's a great point, Kevin. I think that you're right about that. I also think that whatever we're doing off the court in terms of the players with nutrition and training regimen, that's going to be another reason why we'll see players be very effective well into their late 30s and sometimes into their early 40s, which is about my limit, Kev. I'm still effective at 45.
You are. Very effective at 45.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Collison hits them both.
And really the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebound.
Here's Quarterman. The offensive rebound. Rejected by Collison. They get it back. Oklahoma City has gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Here's Eustace. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. You look over the roster of the Thunder, and it's easy to see why they're such a great rebounding team. 1 through 5 can come up with 10 boards on any given night.
And those rebounding totals usually translate to wins for this team. But very rarely do they lose a game when they're having their way on the glass. The goal at the end of the night is to play the bully in and around that painted area.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good. Eustace. Over the decades, the way the league has grown, phenomenal. Due in no small part to the leadership. Brent, what are some of the key traits that you've seen of these 2 great NBA commissioners?
I think the one thing about both David Stern and Adam Silver that they have done a great job with is that they're approachable. There doesn't seem to be a time, at least in an NBA player's career, where they don't feel like they could either call the office and within maybe a day or 2 hear from somebody from the league office. But the fact that both David Stern and Adam Silver find their way out to arenas throughout the regular season, come to see every team, that approachability, I think, far and away sets those 2 gentlemen aside.
Outside, Felton shoots the 3, and the rebound goes to the Rockets. Harden's got 6 rebounds in the game. Outside, Williams. To the inside, Black. Boom, he jams it straight down.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Grant outside. Pass to Eustace. Outside, Felton. Pass to Kristen. Grant against Williams. Grant, that's good.
Grant's always looking for those seams, so when he finds one, he'll rip right into it, like his aggressiveness there.
Out left to the wing. Here's Tucker. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from three-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
A baseline Jay, and it's Collison that time on the assist by Felton. Collison's got 4 this quarter. Rockets have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Quarterman kicks to Black. Feeds it to Harden. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Raymond Felton.
And the southpaw stroke of Harden is just beautiful to watch. When he's cooking, he's one of the more lethal scorers in our league.
Well, across the board last season, James Harden, Greg, saw his numbers jump through the roof, but he showed improvement both in his defensive engagement as well as his rebounding. Not something that a lot of us saw coming.
Yeah, that's a good point. And with Harden, I think the rebounding is the really surprising number. Went from being an average rebounding guard to a great one the last few seasons. He's been showing more of a dedication to all aspects of the game.
And that one misses. Hey, Brent, in other sports, later draft picks often become all-star level players. That seems to be much more rare in the NBA. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure, Kevin, and there are a lot of great finds for NBA teams in the second round and even late into the second round as guys who make solid contributions not only to their team right away because they might be more mature players that are passed over because the young guys show potential. I think that scouts do a great job of finding that rare talent. Maybe they're selected a little bit more early than they would be in previous drafts. There's much more information out there for GMs to get at.
Cantor with a screen on Williams. Grant outside. There's a screen by Cantor. Grant, that's good. Grant's got 6 here in this quarter.
You love to see the resolve from an offensive player after a disappointing first half. He's been terrific here in the second.
Williams kicks to Nene. Takes the 3. And James Harden with the 3. Harden's got 22.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
And Baamute's checked in for the Rockets.
One shot.
And that one misses. Brent, for the NBA, it's been a very prosperous time over the last couple decades. What do you think has been the key factor or factors in the growth and the popularity of the game?
Kevin, I think the game speaks for itself and always will. The NBA, to me, is the greatest game that we get a chance to watch. Athleticism and poetry and motion. But one of the things at its foundation and core that I've loved is that the guys that are carrying the mantle for the league right now are likable. And there's nothing that beats likability.
And they appreciate, Brent, I think they appreciate the people that were before them very much.
I think they not only appreciate what's gone before them, Kevin, they're in the moment now. And they appreciate what's going on with their careers in their moment.
And Jeremy Grant, a member of the great Grant family line that has had so many NBA players.
Well, I played with his uncle Horace in Seattle, and the thing that I like about Grant is there's just nothing in terms of nonsense when he has the ball. It's straight line drives right to the rim, and he's coming down hard around the rim.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Alex Abrinas has checked in for Oklahoma City. and he can't hit the second.
Jeremy Grant just has such a great combination of athleticism and explosiveness. It's up to him to find familiar spots on the floor and do a good job of playing off his teammates to make an impact on every game that he plays.
Hey, Brent, we've seen a number of super teams created via free agency or trade. Do you think that's good for the league?
I think it's great for the league. I think it's awesome to see some of the great players play on the same court together and some of the chemistry that creates. But what's been interesting over the course of the last couple seasons, Kevin, is that we've had these young marquee players stepping up in environments and with organizations now that are must-see TV. So aside from the super teams, there are young players carrying their team to hopefully greater and greater heights that keep you interested in all 30 teams in the league.
And Luke Mbah a Moute, the Prince, as many know him, very good forward out of UCLA. Brent, he can help with offense, but his biggest contributions for sure come on the defensive end.
And a lot of things, Kevin, for Mbah a Moute is just positional outcome. Maybe not a lot of blocks, maybe not a lot of steals, but a good solid defender that gets his minutes out there because he's willing and committed to that end of the floor.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
Oklahoma City has gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. There's a good screen. Christian, the pass to Abrines. And the three ball is good.
Some guys just take pride in how they set screens. It might seem like a small part of the game, but as you saw there, it can have a huge impact in getting a shooter an open look at the basket.
Nene, the screen. Harden outside. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Cantor's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Here's Abrines. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. If you ever did decide to go into coaching, Brent, would you also like to be the general manager to ensure you have the players that you really want to coach?
Well, I'd also like a new car and a Learjet, Kevin. If I could get those two, I'll try my best. But
I hear you. I know.
I really think that relegating that role to somebody else that you can be on the same page with is the best way to go. It's a fresh set of eyes.
That's the key. I totally agree.
Fresh set of eyes, and they have the time to devote to what your team and your roster is going to need, while you make sure you're developing the roster yourself. So I think having a general manager do his job and a coach do his job might be the way that I would prefer to do things, although we've seen other guys have success in both roles.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Stolen by Cantor. Here's Kristen. And there's the pass to Abrines. There's a screen by Cantor. With the teardrop, they get it back. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. Nene. And so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. And the Rockets making a change here. Black's checked in.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. NBA official, NBA referee, Brent, has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world. There's been a lot of talk about adding an official to the court. Would that make a difference?
You know, I'm thinking, Kevin, that's like asking 4 of my buddies to add a 5th guy to go out and they're all single. That means there's another guy I got to compete with. So maybe we don't have another set of eyes on the NBA game. Lots of physicality, lots of pushing and shoving. You may see more foul calling, which will slow down the tempo and the rhythm of the game. I'm not sure that's the best idea for the league.
So then adding the Secaucus and the extra eyes in New York to look at calls, I think that might take the place of adding the official.
I think the league has done a great job, Kevin, having Secaucus now have the ability to make some of those calls to help speed up what we do with regards to the replay.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Houston.
One of the areas that has been critical for them, the second chance points we've seen from them tonight.
A huge factor in this one, Kevin. The hustle on the offensive glass, the willingness to go after those rebounds, that was key.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for James Harden.
Just really loved his activity level here tonight, constantly mixed it up, and he threw himself into a lot of plays.
Eustace kicks to Cantor. Scored the bucket. He's made 5 so far, shooting a very clean 5 of 7.
And finally hitting their stride. This is the run they needed earlier.
Well, easier to do once the game is on ice, as your opponent sometimes has a tendency to relax.
The 3 from Harden. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Here's Kristen. He feeds it to Cantor, and it's Abrines in the corner. There's a screen by Cantor. A floater. Abrines with the bucket.
That floater is a thing of beauty, effective when it's used the right way.
And here's Harden. So we see Houston taking the W here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much with Chris Paul. Chris, a very convincing win, and that doesn't happen often in this league. So what do you take from this?
You know, one thing that our coaching staff keeps stressing to us every night is that it's about us. You know, so regardless of score, we got to continue to.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.